What's up there, SEO pros? Welcome back. Sorry about needing to redo the video, fix my Skype, because every time I try to use it, it adjusts my microphone volume and then my volume's way too loud. So either way, what we're going to be talking about today is local SEO, what your competitors will not tell you or don't want to tell you or others don't want to tell you when it comes to ranking a website. And basically, if you don't know who I am, I've been able to rank for a ton of different stuff locally, like acupuncture, moving company, pretty much name it. I've been able to rank for that sort of thing on the first page. And I have tons of tutorials on my channel showing me actually doing this stuff, so you can actually see me going and typing the stuff in on my keyboard to actually rank the website. So if you want to go check that out and you haven't seen my channel before, go to my channel. You'll find a bunch of different SEO tutorials, local, and then also either way. The reason why I want to make this video is because it seems like people like to really overcomplicate local SEO. Now, there are some things that can be more complicated, in terms of if you have like a huge competition in your area and you really don't know what to do after like spending a bunch of time, doing a bunch of technical SEO stuff like that. I'll address that at the end, but just the first part of this, I'm going to be telling you sort of what you need to look out for and what people are not going to be telling you when it comes to SEO or local SEO. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that you're going to be able to rank really easily in Google Maps if you can start driving reviews. So no matter what industry you're in, whether it's plumbing, like something really competitive, or in something that's a little bit less competitive, like let's say SEO, which by the way, sorry, some areas SEO is very competitive, but in most areas you can rank for SEO pretty easily locally. And then in between niches, like maybe some computer repair or iPhone. So in any of those cases, getting reviews on your map listing is going to really bring up your rankings on the map. Now, this might not bring up your rankings organically, but this is easily something that you could do and like literally get most of your traffic from your Google My Business, because the Google My Business, if it's a local based search, will usually show up first. So a good example of this is for iPhone repair. I knew that this was the case. I knew that I would be getting most of my traffic by doing review generation for my iPhone repair company. So I went on Facebook, show you the listing, ranking number one, has 51 reviews, and of course has pretty much more reviews than everybody else except for these people. But if I look at these people, they're not even responding to the reviews, which by the way, you're not supposed to actually get a huge boost. You're going to get a boost from your reviews, but you're not supposed to get a huge boost until you actually respond to your review, which is something that a lot of people actually don't do. But anyways, for the iPhone repair site, what I did is I went on Facebook and I started messaging people who I was doing work for, like computer repair stuff, and I wanted them to leave me a review based on the work I did. Now, it wasn't exactly for iPhone repair, but they still knew me as somebody who fixed electronics, and they were leaving me reviews for my company because they wanted to help support it. Now, that's one way that you might not want to go about things. A better way to go about doing review generation, which works really well, it's how I was actually able to generate over 270 something 5-star reviews for my own company. What I did is I started pushing out content like this. So you're watching the video. Sorry, I'm gonna have to. It's so blurry on YouTube right now. What is that? Oh no, I was watching it on. Okay, it's on mine. It was super blurry. So you're watching this video right now, and you're like, oh, Chase is helping me with some SEO tips, right? And basically, I'm giving these to you for free, right? So what I'm going to do is, if you go join my Facebook group, you go to the White Hat SEO Network, you join there, you've been in there for a while, I can actually filter and see who was the last person who joined my group. And then I can see, people who've joined it, like, let's say months ago. And what I'll do is I'll actually outreach to the people who joined my group months ago, and I'll ask them to leave me a review on what I'm teaching. Or even on my YouTube channel right now, I'll say, hey, look, if you have a second, go leave me a review and say, hey, I learned something from Chase, or I got value or whatever. Now, the reason why this works so well rather than like asking actual customers is because what I'm doing is I'm giving away free information, giving away something that's helpful towards people. And humans work in a way that if they get something for free, they feel obligated to almost give something back. So, in any industry, if you work this in your local strategy by targeting a national audience, start bringing views in, you can easily start repurposing those or targeting those people for reviews. And the cool thing is you don't even have to actually target people who are going to be your clients. You can actually target people who are going to be other business owners. So something that Brian Dean from Backlinko talks a lot about is he talks about when you're doing link building to actually go and target other business owners or other people with websites, not actual clients. You don't want to target like you have two audiences, right? You have the audience that's going to like fuel your brand, fuel your engagement, fuel your whatever you're making. People who understand already what you're talking about, and then you have the people who are going to buy from you, which is like people who need your service, who don't know anything about what you're talking about, and you're going to much rather want people who know what you're talking about, engaging with your brand, promoting you to the potential clients, because that's how you're going to start building so much authority based on what other people um, uh, who know your subject are talking about you. So, long story short, if you have a local brand and you want to get reviews because you know reviews are a huge ranking factor and it's something that a lot of people don't hit on locally, start targeting a national audience. Now, how do you target a national audience with your brand if you don't really have any idea what you need to make content about? Now, the way you should make content is really just based off your actual skill. So, a big thing that people talk about is like, oh, I do life insurance or I do plumbing. Like, how is that going to be interesting? How are people going to want to see something like that? Now, again, don't think about targeting your direct audience or your direct client. Try to think about targeting somebody who's actually going to be um, engaging with your brand, who already knows what you're talking about, who's going to find value in what you're providing. So a good example of this is like most of my SEO tutorials are not just geared towards business owners, they're geared towards actual other SEOs. So a huge chance is if you're watching this video, you're probably an SEO, right? Now, if that's the case, that's really easy for me to target. Now, if you're going to be watching more of my tutorials as well, I can do the same thing. I can go out and make tutorials about, let's say, oh, this is how I do on-page SEO. This is how I do, and the same thing goes for other industries, right? If you're doing plumbing, you can easily just go on camera and be like fixing a leak or whatever, but just be talking about what you're doing. And most people don't watch your videos or read your content just because of information. They also read and watch and consume things based on personality and and perspective, right? So if you can start promoting your content to an audience that uh, you understand, not just from an information standpoint, but also from like a perspective or uh, motive based standpoint, like what these people are actually interested in. So again, if you know your audience is SEOs, a lot of those people are probably wanting to look for like actual like screen records of you doing SEO because they're trying to do SEO as well. And then same thing with my potential clientele. A lot of those people are interested in actually seeing somebody doing SEO so they can see that they know what they're doing, right? Um, so you got to figure it out in your own industry, but by targeting a national audience with a local site or a local business, you're going to be able to basically reverse build your authority back into the local atmosphere and outrank everybody, because most people who are trying to compete locally are only competing locally. And this goes for what I was saying earlier: is if you don't know how to beat your competition because they're all like, let's say, you're in a super competitive area, they all have like 300 5-star reviews, crazy stuff going on like that, huge websites, and tons of links pointing at them. Well, why would you try to just compete with them locally? Try to build your brand into some sort of national presence, because that's what's going to end up helping you uh, basically build that into your local authority as well. So for any site that I want to work on locally, I'm always going to recommend some sort of content marketing strategy. So I don't do link building, right? I already told you that, but I've been able to rank a lot of my sites locally because I take national authority, build into local. So the framework looks like this. All you have to do is get out your paint and you're going to draw these little dots like this. And you're going to choose 2 to 3 different major networks. So like Facebook, YouTube, and Google, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to try to identify what your target audience is on these different, I just said Google, on these different networks, right? So Facebook will just say, it's people who are just looking to buy your product, or who want a free PDF, or people who've already visited your website. You're going to remarket to those people and get them to like your page. I don't know. But the point is like you want these different networks so you can remarket your stuff. Most people are not going to buy from you or even leave you a review the first time they watch your video. They're going to want to watch a continuous, cycle of videos or read your content, that kind of stuff, before they start helping your brand or buying your stuff. So Facebook, YouTube, making, a few videos, hopefully targeting the right audience, and then Google as well. Now, with all of these different places, you can use paid traffic. This is the other thing I'm going to say that most people won't tell you, is that you can actually use paid traffic to build your list, right? So let's just say you have Facebook ads going, YouTube ads going, and Google ads going, and all of these are promoting, let's say, some free asset. Let's say you're giving away a free PDF on how to do plumbing. I don't even know what you're doing, but let's just say free PDF on how to do plumbing. And maybe that's what your actual target audience is interested in. I don't know. It might take some experimentation, but you should be able to figure this out. It's not too hard if you have some idea who your audience is. Now, let's say 50% of the people you serve your ad to, let's say you spend $1,000 and you get, 200 clicks, and out of those 200 clicks, 30% grab the document, which is, let's just times 3. That's 60 people. So 60 people grab that. They all give you their email, right? And then after that, you send them an email a little bit later, and let's say 10 of them watch the video that you send them in the new email about, something that you published on YouTube. And then, out of those people in that video, you ask all of them to leave a review, and then one of them leaves a review, right? Now, that's just the first cycle of content, right? That's like your first sort of experimentation. As you start building out your content, your organic content, or your organic reach, based on the content you're putting out there, you're going to start bringing more people into this cycle as well, into your email list, into your YouTube, into your Facebook. And, paid ads are really just to kind of help excel that process, or right word, accelerate, sorry, not excel, accelerate that process. And then what you do is you take all of those, different people that are watching, consuming your content, finding you on Facebook or whatever, and then you start re-promoting your offers to them, whether you're selling something, whether you're asking for a review, whatever it is. But the point is that these assets are assets that you're going to start controlling for that brand. And this is how you start building authority. This is how you start to create a snowball for your brand, because you're no longer just, let's say doing a Facebook ad selling to your direct audience, or just doing link building to rank locally, and you're going to have to get 100 links just to compete with your competitors. You want a longer term, better strategy than that. And the best way to do that is to start building massive authority on a national level. So I hope that makes sense. Again, all of this is not really related to technical or on-page SEO or any of that stuff, which is stuff I talk a lot about, which obviously, there's a ton of things that you can do to help rank yourself locally, like creating, relevant, separate city landing pages, service pages, if you're not doing that already, and ranking those as different service-based offerings that you do around your area. There's certain tools you can use that are going to help you, like for instance, my own software that helps you figure out how much content you need for your website and stuff like that. But for the most part, if you can again focus on not just your area and bringing in an audience, your audience is going to help you rank. And it's not even just about SEO at that point anymore. It's about creating a brand where you're getting people to interact with your content. And when you push out content, you can use those people to link to you, to build your reviews, to do pretty much whatever you want to build your brand rather than just trying to only focus on just Google. Uh, Matthew says, all day today since 5 a.m. Started working on looking for clients. 5 p.m. Finally had 100 local companies. What they need done. Tomorrow I'll start at 5 a.m. cold calling. I'm scared. Okay. Good luck, Matthew. I should do a little video on cold calling. Oh, it looks like my chat's not. No. Not going the right place. Oh, it's supposed to go up above. There they are. All right. So yeah, that's it for today on that one. You guys got some value out of that. And until I see y'all next time, happy SEOing.